Okay, if you notice the paper I gave you today, before you even get to the net ionic equations, there's this section on electrolytes. And most of us, we think of electrolytes when we think about drinking Gatorade or Powerade. Electrolytes are anything that conduct electricity. Well, there are three types. There are non-electrolytes, weak electrolytes, and strong electrolytes. Okay? Non-electrolytes, examples of that are like water or sugar, anything that doesn't break up into ions. And if it doesn't break up into ions, when it dissolves, it's not going to conduct electricity. Strong electrolytes, examples of that are soluble ionic compounds like lead nitrate, potassium iodide, and KNO3. And so those conduct a lot of electricity. Notice this one. This is an insoluble ionic compound. We're going to put it here. It did not break up into ions, so it does not conduct electricity. Okay? We also have things that are weak, and that's what sometimes confuses people. Like strong would be strong acids and bases. Weak would be weak acids and bases. And here's kind of the way to understand this. Weak acids do break up a little bit, but maybe only about 2 to 5% of the molecules break up, which means 95 to 98% of the molecules actually stay together. So when we're writing the ionic equation that kind of shows what everything looks like in the beaker, it's really more accurate to leave weak electrolytes together as one molecule than to represent them as the ions, because they only do that about 2% of the time. Okay? All right, so what you're going to do for homework after you read this, there's some pages in your book and some pictures and stuff like that, and here's an example equation. It's the same one that I did on the board. On the back, there are several problems for you to do. I only want you to do the first three. The barium bromide and sulfuric acid, the zinc and silver nitrate, the calcium chloride, and the sodium phosphate. You're going to use the hints down here, including the little asterisk and the double asterisk, but you're not going to be drawing anything. You're just going to use those three and try and write a molecular, which is like this, an ionic, which is like this, and a net ionic, which is like this. And all the hints are on here, and there's some practice exercises in your book. Have a great weekend.